In 2025, seniors could lose hundreds chasing the wrong destinations, while others on this list might secretly add years to your life. That's not an exaggeration. Travel experts point to overlooked regions where living costs are lower, healthcare access is stronger, and the lifestyle naturally supports longevity. Yet too many older travelers head to overcrowded, overpriced tourist hubs, spending double for half the experience. Patricia Schultz, who has spent decades uncovering hidden wonders, says most seniors overlook the very places that could give them the greatest joy. And she's right. Some of the most rewarding spots don't show up on standard cruise itineraries or package tours. They're the quieter towns, the wellness-focused islands, and the cities where culture is woven into daily life, not sold as a show. Imagine planning a trip to Europe but bypassing the familiar cities for a tucked-away region where people regularly live past 90, or choosing a US destination where history and hospitality replace the stress of airports and endless crowds. The truth is, not all travel adds the same value. Some journeys restore you, while others drain you. That's why it matters where you go, especially after 60. What if your next destination could lower stress, save money, and even improve your health? Wouldn't that be worth considering? Because 2025 offers opportunities most seniors have never been told about, until now. This is Senior Travel Adventures. Tap like right now so more seniors travel smarter, and subscribe, because adventure never expires. Patricia Schultz has long been regarded as one of the world's most trusted travel voices, the best-selling author of 1,000 Places to See Before You Die and a guide for millions of explorers who crave more than just a checklist. With over 40 years of travel wisdom, she has crossed borders that many only dream about, but her message to seniors is strikingly simple. The most meaningful journeys aren't about how far you go, they're about how deeply you live them. For Patricia, every destination carries a lesson, and at 60 or 70, those lessons matter more than ever. She often says, travel after 60 isn't about proving yourself, it's about proving that life is still wide open. It's a philosophy born from decades of watching how people change when they step into new places. She has seen seniors rediscover laughter on cobblestone streets, reclaim strength on mountain paths, and find love again under foreign skylines. What makes her 2025 picks so powerful is that they break from the tired mold of tourist traps and postcard clichés. These aren't the crowded squares or overpriced resorts that leave you exhausted. They're carefully chosen places where time slows, culture breathes, and the traveler feels renewed instead of drained. And that is what makes Patricia unique. She doesn't just hand out destinations, she hands out transformations. This year, her choices remind us that age is not an anchor. It's a compass, pointing us toward the places we are finally ready to appreciate. One of her top selections has a reputation for producing more centenarians than almost anywhere else on Earth, while another is a quiet US city that feels more soulful than most foreign capitals. Each one carries a story, an invitation, and a challenge to live fully. If you could choose only one new country to see after 60, where would it be? Share it below, because Patricia would tell you, the list doesn't begin with airports or maps. It begins with dreams. Destination 1. Coastal Maine, USA. Patricia Schultz often reflects on her earliest solo research trips through New England, and it was the harbors of Maine that shaped her understanding of what travel should mean. She discovered that a place doesn't need to overwhelm with spectacle to change you. Sometimes it's the quiet corners that leave the most lasting mark. She says Maine isn't just scenery, it's sanctuary. For seniors traveling in 2025, that lesson is essential. While Europe dazzles with cathedrals and castles, it often comes with jet lag, crowds, and rising costs. Maine, by contrast, offers calm seas, charming coastal towns, and a rhythm that asks you not to hurry but to exhale. The state's coastline stretches longer than California's, yet it remains one of the most undervisited in the country. That fact alone surprises many seniors, who expect a domestic trip to feel crowded. Instead, Patricia points to villages where the docks creak softly under the weight of lobster traps, where lighthouses still beam their steady light across waters that have guided generations, and where ferries glide patiently toward islands that seem to belong to another century. Accessibility is part of the appeal. The waterfront paths are flat and inviting, the town centers small enough to explore without strain, and the views are breathtaking without requiring difficult climbs. Food here is not just a meal but a memory. Fresh lobster pulled from the sea that morning, blueberry pie made with berries grown just miles away, chowder thick with flavor. These dishes connect travelers to the land and sea in ways that chain restaurants and crowded buffet never can. Patricia insists that what Maine offers seniors is more than nourishment. It's a reminder that simple pleasures, when savored slowly, can become life's greatest luxuries. Even sitting on a weathered bench as fog rolls in to soften the horizon can feel like medicine for the soul. Would you trade Europe for a US coastline this year if it promised peace? It's a question Patricia believes every senior should ask, because too often the beauty closest to us is the beauty we ignore. Maine proves that you don't have to travel far to rediscover wonder. Yet she cautions that stillness is only one side of the story. Her next destination could not be more different, lively, vibrant, and buzzing with energy. And some say it may even hold the secret to keeping you young. Destination 2. Sardinia, Italy. When Patricia Schultz speaks about Sardinia, she doesn't just describe the turquoise waters or the rugged mountains. She talks about the people who seem to have unlocked a secret the rest of the world is still chasing. Sardinia is one of the world's rare blue zones, places where people live significantly longer, with many reaching 90, 100, and beyond. Patricia has walked the cobblestone streets of its villages and spent time with centenarians who remain active, alert, and deeply connected to their communities. She says this island doesn't just add years to life, it adds life to your years. The numbers are striking. Sardinia has more than 10 times the number of centenarians per capita than the United States. Scientists have studied their diet of fresh vegetables, beans, and olive oil, as well as their habit of drinking red wine in moderation. But Patricia reminds us the secret isn't only on the plate, it's in the way Sardinians live. Every day includes walking uphill streets, tending gardens, and gathering with family. Elders are not sidelined, they are respected anchors of the community. For seniors considering travel in 2025, this makes Sardinia not just a beautiful destination but a living classroom in how to age with vitality. Patricia recalls sitting in a village square, where men in their 90s leaned on canes, trading jokes as easily as if they were still boys. Nearby, women well into their 80s prepared bread together, passing down recipes and stories to their grandchildren. For her, these moments revealed that aging here is not seen as decline, but as a season rich with purpose. Seniors who visit Sardinia don't just see sights, they absorb a way of living that celebrates each stage of life. Practicality matters too, and Sardinia is kinder to older travelers than many expect. Its towns are compact and walkable, its pace forgiving, and its people warm and welcoming. Patricia notes that even those who worry about long-haul trips will find the island increasingly accessible, thanks to expanding flight routes and senior-friendly tours that emphasize comfort without sacrificing authenticity. Imagine sitting with someone 95 years old, still walking to market every morning. Would you ask them first about food, about family, or about love? Patricia believes each answer offers a lesson worth carrying home. Sardinia proves that travel after 60 isn't just about what you see, it's about what you take into your own life. But she also reminds us, you don't always need to cross an ocean to rediscover your energy. Her next destination shows how you can feel reborn without leaving your own continent. Destination 3. Sedona, Arizona. Patricia Schultz once described Sedona as a cathedral without walls, a place where the land itself seems to rise into sacred spires and the sky becomes its ceiling. She insists seniors underestimate deserts, yet Sedona gives more energy than it takes. For many travelers over 60, the word desert conjures up images of harsh landscapes and exhausting treks. Patricia wants seniors to see Sedona differently. A destination that restores strength, awakens the spirit, and proves that nature can be both majestic and gentle at the same time. The beauty of Sedona is not only in its iconic red rocks but in how accessible it is. Seniors don't need to climb mountains to feel its magic. Patricia points out that jeep tours glide comfortably through rugged terrain, short trails lead to breathtaking vistas without demanding endurance, and art galleries scattered through town invite unhurried discovery. There's also the extraordinary play of light. Morning sun ignites the cliffs in brilliant orange, while evening shadows turn them deep purple. Patricia recalls standing at Cathedral Rock during sunset, realizing that moments like these weren't just sights to admire, but experiences that seem to add something back to her soul. Sedona is also known for its energy vortexes, sites believed to enhance spiritual renewal. Whether or not you believe in the science, Patricia emphasizes that travelers often leave with a tangible sense of calm and clarity. Some say its red rocks heal. Do you believe places can hold power? Patricia frames this not as superstition, but as a reminder that travel is as much about how you feel as what you see. Seniors often find that Sedona offers not just beauty, but balance, a place where age feels less like a limitation and more like a source of wisdom ready to connect with the landscape. Practical comfort is another reason Sedona belongs on Patricia's list. Its town center is easy to navigate, wellness retreats cater to older visitors, and mild weather outside the hottest months makes outdoor exploration enjoyable. Spa treatments with desert botanicals, yoga sessions at sunrise, or simply sipping coffee while gazing at red cliffs, these are experiences that nourish body and mind alike. For Patricia, Sedona proves that the desert isn't barren. It's abundant in ways that matter most to seniors seeking renewal. Sedona teaches that travel can lift you higher without wearing you down. Yet Patricia's next destination shifts tone completely. It isn't about energy or mystery. It's about timeless beauty, old-world flavors, and the art of slow living that makes every day feel like a celebration. Destination 4. Tuscany, Italy. Patricia Schultz calls Tuscany a masterclass in slowing down, and for seniors, that is exactly what makes it unforgettable. She often reminds travelers, you don't just taste wine here, you taste history. She says Tuscany isn't about sightseeing, it's about soul-seeing. In 2025, with tourism rising and so many destinations feeling rushed, Patricia highlights Tuscany as the antidote, a place where the rhythm of life itself becomes the attraction. Tuscany is not only Florence, Pisa, or the tourist-flooded galleries. Patricia urges seniors to look beyond the crowds, into the smaller hill towns where church bells still set the pace of the day and where conversations in piazzas last longer than meals. It's a region where vineyards trace the landscape like green ribbons, where olive groves whisper with centuries of cultivation, and where a glass of Chianti carries stories from generations of winemakers. What many don't realize is that Tuscany's villages have remained remarkably intact, not just as museums of the past but as living communities that embody balance between work and rest, food and fellowship, history and the present. For seniors, Tuscany offers comfort without pressure. Patricia emphasizes that the region is best experienced slowly. Gentle countryside drives between hill towns, cooking classes where locals teach family recipes, or villa stays where mornings begin with birdsong and evenings close with sunsets over cypress-lined horizons. There is no checklist here, only immersion. She shares how one elderly Tuscan winemaker in her 90s once told her, "We do not grow old, we ripen." That philosophy is woven into every vineyard, every garden, every shared meal. And it's not just philosophy. Research shows that the Mediterranean lifestyle supports heart health, longevity, and lower stress. A senior trip here isn't indulgence, it's an investment in well-being. The cuisine, based on simple but fresh ingredients, nourishes both body and soul. The art and architecture, encountered not only in great museums but in village chapels and town squares, remind travelers that beauty doesn't belong to the few, but to everyday life. If you could spend 1 month anywhere just to live like a local, would Tuscany tempt you? Patricia insists it's worth imagining, because Tuscany proves that the most meaningful journeys are the ones that ask you to pause and savor. But the next place on her list flips the script entirely. It's not Europe, it's not about slow living, and it's far wilder than you think. Destination 5. Costa Rica. Patricia Schultz recalls writing about Costa Rica's rainforests as a hymn to nature, and decades later, she still believes no other destination sings with such balance between wildness and welcome. She believes Costa Rica doesn't just preserve land, it preserves peace for the traveler's spirit. In 2025, as the world grows noisier and busier, this small Central American country offers seniors a sanctuary where the air is fresher, the pace is slower, and every moment feels like a chance to breathe deeper. What makes Costa Rica remarkable is its commitment to conservation. Over 25% of the country's land is protected as national parks and reserves, one of the highest rates anywhere in the world. Patricia highlights this as proof that Costa Rica doesn't just showcase its beauty, it safeguards it. For seniors, this means walking through lush forests where monkeys chatter above, watching bright toucans dart across the canopy, or gliding gently on a boat through mangrove swamps alive with color. Unlike destinations that drain travelers with chaos, Costa Rica restores with calm, its very design inviting slower exploration. Patricia remembers waking before dawn in the Arenal region, the sky painted with mist, as howler monkeys announced the sunrise. It was not an alarm clock but a reminder that life here moves to natural rhythms. For seniors, experiences like these replace stress with wonder. Gentle canopy walks offer safe but unforgettable views of the rainforest. Mineral-rich hot springs soothe tired muscles after a day of exploration. Eco-lodges, often family-run, welcome travelers with warmth that feels less like tourism and more like kinship. Costa Rica is also accessible in ways many seniors don't expect. English is widely spoken, the healthcare system is strong, and its compact size makes it easy to experience both coasts and highlands without long travel days. Meals here are simple but nourishing: rice, beans, plantains, and fresh fruit, a diet that supports health as much as it delights the palate. Patricia insists that it's not luxury that makes Costa Rica special. It's authenticity, the sense that nature itself is embracing you. Would you dare wake up to the sound of monkeys and not traffic? Patricia poses the question to remind seniors that adventure doesn't always mean hardship. Sometimes it's simply choosing a different soundtrack for your mornings. Costa Rica shows that wonder is best lived slowly, with eyes open and heart steady. But Patricia warns, the next destination on her 2025 list might surprise you. It isn't tropical at all, it's colder, lonelier, and yet she calls it one of the most unforgettable journeys a senior can take. Destination 6, Alaska's Inside Passage. Patricia Schultz still remembers the moment vividly. Standing on the deck of a small cruise ship as dawn broke over Alaska's Inside Passage, she heard the deep crack of a glacier splitting into the sea. In that silence between sound and echo, she whispered to herself, "This is what eternity looks like." She calls Alaska silence that speaks. For seniors in 2025, when the world often feels too loud, too fast, and too crowded, the Inside Passage offers a rare gift: vastness that humbles and quiets the spirit without demanding effort in return. Many seniors imagine Alaska as wild, remote, and difficult to access, but Patricia insists the opposite is true. Cruises through the Inside Passage are among the most senior-friendly adventures in the world. From the comfort of a ship's deck, you can watch whales breach, bald eagles soar, and seals rest on floating ice without ever straining your body. Unlike many destinations, here the journey itself is the destination. The ship becomes your moving hotel, your window to glacier, fjords, and forested islands that stretch farther than the eye can see. The facts are compelling. Alaska's Inside Passage covers nearly 500 miles of protected waterways, yet much of it remains sparsely populated. This means seniors experience some of the most untouched natural beauty in North America, all while enjoying the stability and comfort of a cruise designed with accessibility in mind. Patricia emphasizes that modern ships now include wellness programs tailored for older travelers, from gentle exercise classes to dining menus that prioritize health without sacrificing flavor. The comfort is there, but so is the wonder. And the emotional resonance is powerful. Patricia recalls seeing orcas rise from the water at sunrise, their movements mirrored by the stillness of the sea. She says those moments remind seniors that age doesn't diminish awe, if anything, it sharpens it. Do you dream of cruises for comfort, or fear them for crowds? Patricia urges travelers to rethink what a cruise can mean when the destination is as majestic as Alaska. Here, crowds dissolve into the horizon, and silence becomes the greatest luxury. For seniors who want travel that restores instead of exhausts, Alaska's Inside Passage is proof that sometimes the grandest experiences require the least strain. But Patricia saves her final destination for a very different note. Her last pick takes us back home, yet she says it may feel more foreign, more soulful, and more surprising than anywhere abroad. Destination 7. Charleston, South Carolina. Patricia Schultz describes Charleston as a city where every street corner tells a story. For her, this isn't just about historic plaques or preserved architecture, it's about atmosphere, the sense that time hasn't passed so much as layered itself gently over the present. She says Charleston feels like meeting an old friend you didn't know you had. In 2025, when many seniors are seeking places that balance comfort with culture, Charleston rises above as a destination that is both deeply American and uniquely timeless. What makes Charleston stand out is the way it blends history, food, and hospitality into an experience that feels as warm as its climate. Stroll down King Street or along the Battery, and you'll see centuries-old houses painted in pastel hues, oak trees draped in Spanish moss, and cobblestones that echo with footsteps of generations. Patricia believes this is what makes Charleston perfect for older travelers. You don't just observe history here, you feel it under your feet. Unlike distant European capitals, Charleston offers that old-world richness without the strain of international flights. And then there is the food, low-country cuisine that nourishes both stomach and soul. Shrimp and grits, she crab soup, Benny wafers, dishes that taste of heritage as much as flavor. Patricia often says that in Charleston, a meal is not simply eaten, it is remembered. Which matters most to you, food that comforts or history that stirs? In Charleston, the two are inseparable, woven into every bite and every street. For seniors, this combination creates a destination that is accessible, delicious, and deeply meaningful. Beyond the cuisine and architecture, Charleston is also remarkably walkable. Its flat historic district makes exploration easier, and horse-drawn carriages allow seniors to see the city without exhaustion. Gardens bloom year-round, jazz spills from hidden venues, and riverboats glide lazily on nearby waters. It is a place where the pace of life encourages lingering, and where the welcome feels genuine. Patricia points out that Charleston offers something rare, a sense of homecoming, even for those visiting for the first time. But Patricia also warns, one of these dream destinations carries a hidden challenge for seniors. Stay with me, because it may surprise you. Not every trip, no matter how beautiful, is effortless. Health, climate, and accessibility must all be weighed, even in places that seem perfect on the surface. Patricia urges travelers not to let this discourage them, but to remind them that careful planning is as much a part of wise travel as choosing the destination itself. The truth is, even the most stunning locations demand respect. Charleston proves that history, hospitality, and flavor can wrap you in comfort. But the real lesson is that every senior traveler must journey with both joy and wisdom. Patricia's philosophy has always been clear: travel is not a reward for youth, it's a reward for courage at any age. For seniors, this reframes everything. It means that choosing to pack a bag at 65 or 75 isn't about proving that you can still keep up. It's about honoring yourself enough to say adventure still belongs to you. That is why her 2025 list carries weight beyond destinations. Each place is more than a dot on a map. It is an invitation to rediscover vitality, perspective, and joy. Think about what the past chapters of life have given you: family, work, responsibilities, triumphs, and struggles. Patricia believes travel after 60 is where those experiences finally ripen into wisdom that changes how you see the world. In Maine, you find sanctuary that teaches the value of stillness. In Sardinia, you learn from elders who embody longevity through connection. In Sedona, you rediscover energy in landscapes that seem alive. Tuscany offers lessons in savoring slow living. Costa Rica reminds you to trust nature's embrace. Alaska shows you silence that restores the spirit. And Charleston connects you with history and hospitality that feel like home. Her 2025 list isn't just about where you go, it's about proving your best chapters are still unwritten. Patricia urges seniors to stop thinking of travel as something left behind in youth. Instead, she frames it as a tool for renewal, one that strengthens health, enriches memory, and deepens relationships. Studies continue to show that travel supports mental sharpness and emotional well-being, but Patricia doesn't quote research to impress. She points to faces, to moments, the laughter shared over wine in a Tuscan village, the awe in seeing glacier break apart, the calm of walking cobblestones with no rush. These are not luxuries, they are lifelines. Which of these 7 speaks to you most? Leave it in the comments. Patricia says the destination that calls your name is the one you need most. Because in her view, the world isn't waiting for the young, it's waiting for the willing. And courage, the courage to keep exploring, to keep believing in possibility, belongs to every senior who refuses to let adventure expire. If Patricia's insights inspired you, hit like now and share this with a senior who deserves to dream bigger in 2025. And subscribe to Senior Travel Adventures, because our next video uncovers the #1 airport trap seniors fall into. You don't want to miss it.